just look at this goofy little guy. He's lost another easy kill because they ran out of sight. That should be no issue, but he doesn't know how to track, and now they got away. Me, silly. Do you keep losing prey because you don't know how to track? Do you need someone to teach you how to track and how to be an actual predator? Okay, fine, I'll teach you, but get out of here, chum. Go on, get. So, just before we start, here are some important notes I should probably know. 1. Only carnivores can track. If you're playing as a herbivore, you just can't pick up bloods or footprints. I know a lot of it is gone. 2. Tracking is actually based on smell range, so this means that a creature with a good smell range like a Ceratosaurus will be a lot better at tracking than a creature without a good smell range like a Carno. 3. Tracking long distance will require a high amount of bleed. This is just because if you don't have enough bleed, the tracks will eventually just stop showing up and you will lose your target, which makes them almost impossible to track. 4. There is a timer on tracks, so if you can bite the target and refresh that bleed, then that will fully reset the timer and that will allow you to track for even longer. This is very good for long distance tracking. 4. When you are close to your target, you won't see a directionary prompt. I'll explain this later, but you will receive a direction on where the prey's gone if they're far enough away, but if they're close by, that won't appear. Another important note is that blood is a lot more important and more reliable to find tracks than actual footprints. It's kind of like earlier, footsteps will not last for very long, and they'll do for very short-term tracking, but for anything that's not short-term, you will want blood. And finally, tracking can be very inconsistent at a long distance. Even if you're really good at tracking, it is still very difficult. But despite all of what I'm telling you and what I will tell you, without practice, tracking is difficult. So I would suggest going into an admin server or just playing survival and trying to track down a friend or something you're fighting. Also, I know this looks like a long video, and it is, but that's because tracking is kind of weird, so I want to explain it in a way that's not confusing. But without all that being clarified, let's get into it. Okay, so with tracking, there are 2 ways to pick up another creature's trail, and that is via blood or by footprints. Blood is the more optimal way to do it, because with blood, your track timer will last a lot longer than footprints, and as well, blood glows, so it's a lot easier to find another creature's tracks. Footprints you can still use if you are trying to track something that you haven't bitten or that isn't bleeding, but like I said before, the timer is less, and it's generally a lot harder to pick up another creature's footprints rather than blood. So, prints that you can sniff will glow, and then there's a prompt for Q, and then if you press Q, the prints of that specific creature will highlight, and then if they're far away, there'll be a directionary prompt to where they go. So then if you follow that and then keep holding sniff, sooner or later more tracks will show up and they will update you on where your creature's gone. So if you keep following and then keep sniffing, eventually they will lead you to more tracks, being right here, and then it'll give you another prompt. And if you keep following, eventually more will show up, and it keeps going. Until eventually you'll reach your target. Oh my god, so tiny. One more thing to know is that a creature that is really close by will not give you a prompt as to where it went. well, it's not a very good example here because of how small the dryer is. It's still stacked with how big the creature is. But generally, if you're very close to a creature, this prompt will go, and then you're just going to have to switch around manually. Right, so I'm going to start tracking my friend on Maya. My first cue to get the tracks. There we go. Gonna give me direction. He was just fighting at FH20. So, alright, here we go. There's a few more tracks up here. Here we go. So, all I'm going to do is when I get to the tracks, I'm going to hold Q, and then I'm going to go in that direction, where it tells me. I'm going in the right direction because there's more blood. You should expect to see tracks between every 5 and 10 seconds, I would say personally. He is playing Maya, so he should be faster than me, which means he'll gain distance. There we go, there's some more tracks. Then we're going to keep going. You need to not go too fast where you miss the tracks, but also fast enough to where you are beating the timer. There we go, there's more blood and more tracks. There we go. This way. No, we're going to keep going. We want to stay on to that timer at all times. There we go. More tracks right here. This way. It's just this, rinse and repeat until you find something. In fairness, I did get a lot of bleed on him. If you are trying to track something bigger, then you will naturally need more bleed. Go, more tracks. There's tracks right here, but I know because there's more tracks up here. Found him. There we go. So that is short distance tracking. It's much easier than long distance tracking. So now I'm going to show you long distance tracking. And this time I'm not going to talk. I want you guys to really understand what I'm doing. And to be honest, that's all the Evrima tracking system actually is. It is pretty much just keep up the bleed, don't let the timer get to you, and just try and stay on those tracks. I will mention it is also very much possible to only track with the blood trail. It's a lot more difficult, but it is doable. Again, just bear in mind tracking, especially over long distance, but in general, the track system in Evrima I have found to be inconsistent at best. Short-term tracking is amazing, it works really well. Long-term tracking doesn't work that well. But anyway, that's all you'll ever need to know about tracking, unless they change it, and if they do, then I'll make another video. So thank you for watching to the end. I hope I've helped you learn how the tracking system works. If you're still a little unsure, just ask a few questions in the comments. I read every single one of them, and I'm happy to help out. Anyway though, I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.